Welcome back to Central Coast Disc Golf, part 2 from round 2 of the 2023 Discmania Open Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series event, Prince Edward Island, Canada. I'm Nate Perkins here with Connor O'Reilly. Connor, entertaining front nine, unpredictable, the wind. What do you have to say about it?
We've seen a variety of play styles challenging this wind, and if you want to see even more variety of play styles, don't forget to scan for the 7-day free trial to the Disc Golf Network. Catch tomorrow's final round and some of the MVP Open playoff event next week. But yeah, we've seen crazy good shots, some crazy bad shots, really just a bit of everything in the pretty blustery conditions.
Eagle has 5 strokes over Gavin Babcock. Andrew Fish moving up into third place there, and here we are, hole 10, and this is one of the tighter holes that you will see all season on this Silver Series tour, and maybe 305 exactly needed to get to that landing zone right
Plus
there.
Plus or minus 3.5 feet.
And
if you're only.
Yeah, because if you're further than that, your angle's completely toast. No chance of making the dog leg. And then you still have a lot of these little skinny trees to deal with as you approach this green.
Yeah, I actually talked with course designer Ben Smith while I was playing. Actually after I finished this hole. And I've been loving how open he's been to feedback. And, I think that's a good showing of a great course designer, someone who's willing to learn and change and still try to challenge the players. And he's down to open the corner up, maybe push the pin back a little bit, give us kind of a dual option approach. I think it's going to be a really good hole in the future. Isaac looked to center cut it, but let's see
if deep?
He got the distance right. It looked a little deep based off of how close to the cameraman he was.
Plus 4 feet, holes over kind of situation. Yeah, we got a good
par's
look.
There still, but birdie might be tough, especially for a non-forehand lover.
Good look at Isaac's M1 there, and Gavin's Doombird. And I'm pretty confident this is FD2 from Eagle.
Interesting to see
he just
him.
Pulls it a little bit.
I guess yesterday he did kind of play it into the ground and just slide it up, so maybe that's why he's going fairway driver, but I think at this distance he would most likely go mid or even putter for what he needs. Jake looks to be just shy of the corner. Going to be hard to bend that one up there anywhere closer than maybe 60 feet, really. And there you see Eagle just stand still putting it to the corner. Looks to be the proper distance. Should have about 250 into the green, dead straight. Okay, Gavin's just shy of the corner, but looks like he's able to kind of cut it with the forehand. Well executed, and he almost rung it up.
The little open hip delivery right there from Gavin was kind of clean. It's hard to get the disc up to speed when you're that.
He probably has some
that.
of the strongest, most flexible hips on the tour. I'm gonna say it. Gavin Babcock has the best hips on tour, y'all. I'm just gonna say it. And there you see Jake Monn having trouble with that touchy shot, and okay, the camera's just a little bit deep at Eagle, and you could see how tight the gap is. You couldn't even see that he was purely flying down the fairway.
Yeah, nice putter shot there, and the rare forehand.
Isaac, that looked great. Come on, man. I'm going to need more of that.
That's clean.
Playing like an A2 maybe? Just jamming it flat. That's the best forehand I've ever seen out of Isaac Robinson. And oh, goodness. Jake Monn has to just kind of bear claw the disc straight through the woods. And oh, wow. Did not think he got to the open. Little turned on that
misfire there. Eagle from just outside the circle.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most guarded greens. Probably the least windy green out there.
Gavin gonna pick one up here. That forehand approach was masterful.
Yeah, like you said, really hard to get the timing and the hit right when you kind of have to take one of your legs out of it. So I think these next couple greens, these players are going to feel very comfortable. And it'll be interesting to see how the putting display goes on the final 3 holes as we get back out into that ripping wind that a lot of times this time of the day is kind of relenting, but not on this day. And 11, going to be the easiest hole on the course to birdie. 205 footer, pretty dead straight. Pick your poison, forehand, backhand, just beat that leaning tree underneath it height-wise and keep the disc holding pretty straight. Don't need to throw very firm here, just got to hit the line.
Oh, nearly identical to yesterday's shot where he smashed chains with that PA3.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he hit chains, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was some kind of metal. A little bit high for Babcock, flexing early, but good pacing there. Eagle just drops the disc out there. Easiest 200 foot you'll ever see. This one played more than a half stroke under par today. It's a misfire for Monn here. It's going to be a frustrating one. Especially with the slow round he has going. He needs some birdies here.
Oh, nearly floats that one in. It almost feels like a bogey here on this 205 footer.
Truly does. Playing that far under par in a kind of short field, you know, I think a lot of players are picking this one up. And we got to give a huge shout out to Alden Harris, who got the ace on this hole today.
Wow.
Rung it up. He had a good bounce back round after a rough first. Come back from on. Focusing up. Yeah, like you said, that's one of those pars that, I mean, you just lost to 0.61 strokes to the average, so. Oh, no.
First time we've seen Gavin really offline this round. The shortest putt yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Mentally just kind of got a little unfocused there, or let it slip out late.
Hole 12, tightest gap you're going to see, maybe 4 feet across at the widest. What do you think, Connor?
I think they said they measured it at like 9 feet. I feel like it
really?
The way it staggers, it feels like
feels
5
so
feet.
small.
It feels like 5 at times, and
That's 9 feet right there.
I don't buy it. I think
It's like
I would have to
4
climb
drone
pretty high in that
lengths.
tree before I couldn't be
Yeah.
wedged between the 2 branches.
No, it's tight, guys. And if you hit early, you're down with a lot of trees in the way. If you kick off left, right, it gets really hairy.
Yeah, Reed's 287, playing maybe 240, 250, I'd say. Isaac misses left of where he intended, but flies clean. As long as you split that tree he did on either side, you're usually home free. Eagle also left side of that tree.
Oh, and feeds it all the way down into the circle.
Both those guys probably a little bit of a kind of heart rate rise there, but able to relax after they get a bit of fortune. This one you kind of got to throw with a grain of salt. Just take what comes and try to make sure you commit and have a good headspace while you're throwing. Jake going to that breaker, looking for a nice flat release here. Stands up late. Kicks forward, though. He's going to have maybe a highlight bid. Easy par at worst. But he's now missing both of these two shorties that you hit the gap. You're kind of counting on.
Oh, nearly saves himself there.
Yeah, that
tactic flies just in front of the chains.
Been coming in hot. Jake jump putting from 90, showing off his power. Wow.
Clean stroke right there, coming back at the pin. Right on the pole.
Yeah, impressive. Solid pace there. Just such a low wobble rate.
Probably the most protected green that we have.
Yeah, I think that last one might be, but this one's still... The last one or the one before, but this one is definitely in that top 4 or 5 more protected, but you are kind of adjacent to hole 9, which is a little bit open. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Gavin trying to really set that one in there after missing the last putt.
And wow, he's taking it like a champ. That was nasty right off the pole, and that was for par too.
I'd like to ask Gavin if these are still his favorite baskets after this weekend.
I mean, even the best baskets will get you, but that one hurts.
Yeah, especially when you come in.
It's filmed.
A lot of pace fast,
for
you know.
Par.
Yeah.
Oof, and he's gonna drop. He's 6 back at Eagle now. Andrew Fish, Isaac Robinson, 5 back.
Eagles starting to separate.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Hole 13 is going to be a dogleg left par 4, 501 feet. Off the tee, you're going to need to push it maybe a little over 300 feet to get to this bend in the fairway. Got to get just past these 2 little trees here and then put the brakes on. This one, another one of those fairways, a couple feet either way, you really pinch off the angle. Second shot, very narrow as we approach. Definitely only 1 or 2 can walk abreast as you come into those gaps at the 60-foot range. And it's hard to repeat that second shot, but a good drive gives you opportunity for easy par or still a birdie look. Isaac just late. Gets the discount double kick, stays in the middle. Eagle just smokes this one, trying to skip it around. He's been playing this one super aggressive.
Yeah, I think that's going to work out for him. He's just deep, but he's inside 200 feet.
Yeah, easy par at worst from there. And Nate, when my cart was on this green, a gust of wind, pretty strong gust came through, and we all kind of looked up. Jake Wolf was like, "Yeah, I'll make sure you keep your eyes up," because it felt like some of the trees were going to come down today a few times.
And you can still see some of the havoc that Hurricane Fiona last year, September 14th, Hurricane Fiona hit land here on PEI. It was actually the costliest hurricane to ever hit Canada.
Wow.
And you can still see some of the destruction that it left. All these big down trees, those are mainly from the hurricane last September.
Nate, that was our third forehand we've seen out of Mr. Robinson on the round. And let's not gloss over Babcock putting his drive in the perfect spot. Let's see if he's able to manufacture birdie. And there's just these two sets of kind of clusters of trees in the middle on the last part of this approach that really make it difficult. You got to kind of be okay with just putting it on the edge of the circle and taking a putt, and Babcock cleans it.
Yeah, he's circle one. Oh, an eagle climbing underneath a down tree here. Oh, and he had nothing. Yeah, he was too deep in there. That's unfortunate. Oh, it's still going to go to a little toss here. I guess you can't quite see how uphill it is.
And he's electing for that right side, which is a little bit bigger. Not falling for the bait of trying to go straight at the basket. That showed a lot of maturity. And just a jump putt out for Robinson after that forehand kind of kicked over. Jake from 55 feet. Pretty tough stance. Not really able to jump and release both legs with that tree blocking his right foot. Hard to get the power out of that stance. Maintains the balance.
Wow.
Said it earlier, best hips on tour. I wasn't lying, y'all.
That was impressive. Fed it in from left to right, and especially to bounce back after, you know, the spit out on the hole before, and then the leaked 18-footer on 11.
Yeah, still fighting, not letting himself feel some frustration. He's definitely battling like a true champion. Eagle, quick tapping. His disc was kind of camouflaged there. I didn't even see it. And Monn, another bag tap. That was a little bit low, but he makes good. And yeah, Jake trying to keep it together, but just has been a very slow round for him. Getting beat up by the wind a bit.
All right, 14. Arguably the hardest hole in Canada right now. Par 4, 844 feet. Such a demanding tee shot here. It's really asking you to get to the second dog leg. The first dog leg is right at, 360? You take a sharp left turn, fly for another 140 feet, then you take a sharp right turn. The hole is kind of asking you to get to that second part of the lightning bolt, and then you have to advance down this last part of the fairway, another 300 feet downhill. This last tree just, of course, going to catch everything. Most players going to have to put out of that.
Yeah, and Ben did tell us, he hasn't had a chance to see all the top players play, so he's trying to make the course demanding, and he thought this would be a good challenging par 4, but as he's got the feedback throughout the week, he tried to put in a late waiver to change it to a par 5, but didn't get accepted in time, so it's
really tried to change it to a par 5.
He did, yeah. He's been so open to feedback, and it's been really incredible. I think this course is going to go places in the future for sure. Isaac playing on that mid-range again, I believe. Maybe putter. He leaks it left. That's going to be difficult. We might see another forehand from him. Eagle just makes it look so pedestrian.
It's
to throw a 420-foot hyzer forehand.
It just is. It's different. It's just not the same.
But it's still
motion, and
so
it's
strong.
It's
somehow.
still getting up to speed.
It's not like the old backhand flip up speed we used to see him throw, where he was getting the disc to do things that we just haven't really seen people stability wise do on a forehand. But
and I'm curious, Connor, if that's just the Eagle forehand that we have from here on out, or if he's still kind of favoring the shoulder a little bit, or
I feel like it will be. It's got to be kind of scary for him at this point to ever try to push that forehand super hard.
Mm-hmm.
I think for him, he's going to keep probably throwing the serviceable forehand as much as he can. But I don't know, as he starts to continue to throw shots like that and feels that, okay, I have that 425, like I can do the 450, I can do the, it's hard to say that he won't continue to add a little bit of distance, and maybe in time he'll start extending it a little more.
Gavin just barely made the corner. It looks like Jake is still going to be in trouble there. And here we've got what is our fourth one now?
Fourth forehand out of Robinson. And actually,
and it fights
that corner
through.
Isn't the thickest. It's only about 20 to 30 feet of real rough stuff. So if you can kind of punch through, it takes a little bit of luck, but you can definitely make the hole quite a bit easier.
Oh, yeah. That
Eagle,
place.
That is so impressive to be able to land it. It's such a narrow, specific kind of tunnel when you go over the top like that. You have to play it so high.
Yeah, so Jake didn't make the corner. Just has to pitch down to the final tunnel. Oh, getting aggressive there. That hurts.
Yeah, this hole, like we said, tried to waiver it for a par 5, and it's definitely been taking some strokes away from people this weekend. Isaac, that is so well thrown. Tough footing. Plays the standstill just outside the bullseye. That was just, yeah, you can't do it better. Low out of Monn's hand, doesn't get the ground play. Gonna be hard to make that putt from there, even though he's only 60.
Connor, this hole played 5.27. Full 1.27 strokes over par, and this is our last chance at a birdie right here.
He just floats it up, and then here we are getting back kind of out into the wind. And
yeah, he's left himself some work for the par.
Monn has a line, but hard to hold it straight from that long.
Eagle just charging down to his disc.
Yeah, he was expecting maybe just a chip up for a 20-footer, and now left with about 60 coming back.
Did he just jump?
Wow, we saw Eagle McMahon jump putt. That means 60 foot.
I feel like
uphill,
it's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah, he throws the kind of just spinner from 100 plus, it feels like. So, yeah, interested to see why.
And what a make, too, Connor. I mean, left side, and it sticks, and he's just one of 20% of the field karting apart here. Eagle, one of those guys. Gavin, a good putt there for the 5.
Yeah, both of them kind of dunking it in low on that left side. Isaac also takes par. And Jake stacks doubles. That's sorry. Takes a double there. And it's gonna be tough as he does not have the birdies to give. Hole 15, par 3, 320 feet. If you're gonna play it kind of low to the ground and get the skip, I think that's the kind of more pure open way to do it, but it's hard to get the disc to cut as fast left as you need. So a lot of players are going to come in with some medium height, trying to crash a bit of the canopy, see if they can get across this casual creek. Kind of a putt off hole. You throw your shot, deal with whatever footing you got. Hopefully you can put it close. If not, try to take a stab at a very runnable green. Kind of backstop right there.
Getting a little wind action there, a little lift.
Oh my.
Off the koozie?
Yeah, I landed just short in the dirt of catching part of the basket assembly. Eagle coming out.
This
45 plus degrees of hyzer.
Extreme, and yeah, just not enough width there. Catches that last tree.
And Nate, I've been up at the green looking back at this one, just trying to kind of envision the shape, and those limbs that Eagle hit, like there's maybe one disc width right of that you actually have to hit to truly get through that. And
Wow.
it pinches down on you quick before you're just going to blast it long here. Gavin gets a fortunate reaction.
Oh, Jake really pulled that.
Oh, watch out, spectators.
What do you mean? Right where it was? Oh, no way. I don't know.
Monn, long putt, but like we said, backstop there. It's hard to gauge the wind there. Very disappointing, as this was kind of, I mean, really in today's wind, it was his last easier chance at a birdie. Sixteen's another hole that they tried to change to a par 5 late and was not granted, so don't really count on being able to birdie 16.
Man, that's pretty rare. 2 holes the tournament director applied to change the par without changing anything on the hole.
I think,
that
yeah.
doesn't really encourage the players much.
Yeah, it's
Good luck getting an eagle.
and on 16, like I'm debating if it's even physically possible. I've been trying to calculate in my head, but maybe if you have Eagle McMahon's arm speed and calculation skills, then you can dream up something. And look, Eagle, see, look at that. He's visualizing. He's seeing what I was talking to you guys about. The line, it is so particular. It's not quite there. You kind of have to crash through the tree.
Did you know that he
I did not. I 100% never saw that. I kept, because I like to see the course. I like to try to feel out how the holes can get better. And it's been awesome to have been open to the feedback and be able to share it with him this week. And
What a cool moment right there,
Yeah, that
Connor.
was really cool.
Eagle taking a look
For
at
sure.
why the splice did not park it. All right, hole 16. You said it. Supposed to be a par 5. It's actually a par 4. 775 plays closer to 1,500 feet.
it feels like
It's so hard. It's low ceiling off the tee prevents you from shaping anything over that first wall of trees. We've seen most players just kind of punch one underneath it, and then you're left with what feels like a 500-foot shot up this hill.
It feels like to score the par 4, you have to throw like at least 1,100 foot worth of shots. Just in terms of the power gauge. And Isaac cruising past the cameraman well into that tree line. That's about as good as you'll see it thrown. Let's see though if he's obstructed at all in his ability to throw a free line on the next one.
And we didn't even discuss that the tall grass here, it plays as a hazard.
Yeah, it does.
If you get aggressive, especially you're throwing uphill into this wind, you can find the hazard really quick.
And these low limbs off the tee are troublesome here. You see Eagle really making sure to crouch down to avoid them, especially since he's playing overstable, having to release on Anheuser and making the point of release slightly higher than the flat or hyzer angle. I do feel kind of like I have to duck down on this tee, especially when you got the wind blowing these limbs down. You got to time it right, kind of.
Oh, and Jake does not get past that first hazard.
Yeah, it just kind of wraps alongside the road off to the left, and he's taking a risky shot here. The wind is strong right to left as he gets up there. Disc gets exposed. Hard to say whether he was in bounds or not. Gavin trying to offset that strong right to left wind as you get to the top of the hill. Does so well with the forehand. Yeah, you seen a lot less of that forehand out of Gavin today. I think when that high wind, especially with the one finger forehand, that's just not a lot of surface area on the disc.
Mm-hmm. Is that enough swing? Yep, just enough there.
Man, 1 foot less of height, and Isaac likely finds the hazard. Skates by.
Eagle has plenty of airspace here.
This is wide. Going to use that wind to swing it back. A lot of players releasing that disc right there are in trouble, but with his
that's
speed.
still a full shot short.
Yeah, Eagle McMahon throws 2 full power shots on a par 4. He's left with a 250-foot upshot. But like we said, they try to change it, and in the future years, this course is going to be one to be reckoned with for sure.
Jake gonna have that to avoid another double bogey.
Gavin trusting the forehand, but way inside. He was kind of hoping that would really hold straight and maybe that he would release it barely left of the basket, but
He's on the tailwind side, at least.
that is true. This green is not a nice one after you've been in the woods for quite a while. Isaac plays it flat. Gonna let the wind push it
Man,
left, but it
yeah.
kind of drops a little bit.
Yeah, the wind is just doing all kinds of funny things out there.
Yeah, and I was at the bottom of the hill after the first shot here. I tried to throw up some grass to read it, and it went from left to right when I could see the clouds just zooming right to left up there. So I knew not to trust it. Eagle.
I think he still went. Did he still go splice into the?
I think
right
so.
there?
It was, the wind was so strong that you just. I did kind of the same thing. I played fast disc even from 250 because it just. You just wanted to know what your disc was going to do.
Wow, those clouds in the background almost didn't look real. I mean, what a setting this is. Look at that shot right there, everyone. That is just magnificent.
If that doesn't show you what wind levels we're looking at, I don't know what will.
Get it up. What
There
a
it is.
putt. I mean, 28 mile per hour tailwind there.
Yeah, Gavin has scored some solid birdies, but had some rough spots. But he's really just kept fighting all around. And
And that felt like an impossible putt, Connor.
23-footer just.
It just felt impossible. I mean, I feel like at certain wind speeds, being on the wrong side of the basket,
As soon
you
as
might
there's
as
like-
well be OB.
As soon as there's like a 1,000th of a degree of wobble, the disc will just be taken over. Yeah, as you can see on the comeback, frustrating for Eagle there.
Man, really, really tough back here for Jake.
Yeah, just looking to get off the course at this point, and hopefully he can use that rage meter he's got built up and send it here on 17, because he's going to need some power. Playing 400 feet, but in today's wind, it feels like you need all of, honestly, like 475 to get there. It was playing so long, and as soon as he messed up the angle, the wind was just going to take advantage. Hazard surrounds this one, but it's pretty wide. If these players can release the disc flat, fast, and overstable, they should be able to play this one right if they play it out there towards that right side hazard's edge. But let's see what the ride gives them. Isaac flat over that right side edge like I was telling you guys, and had the right line, but does not get there. He thought it was there, but once you,
Kind of laughing at where it landed.
yeah, once you feel, I mean, out of the hand, I feel like a lot of these players are so dialed in with their discs and their ranges. Like when they release it, they know how it feels and if it's going to be there. And
Yep.
a day like today, you do not know.
Let's see if Gavin's got the speed today. He's asking for that one to get down.
And that looks so wide, but he never got it flat enough, so it just kept carrying, and getting slowed down. Has an opportunity, but long headwind putt. I don't know about it. Even Eagle.
Eagles splice, fight the wind. It cannot. I believe, yep, he just found the hazard. Wow, that wind is really something.
This was typically a must get on this course, and right now we're seeing the lead card just have trouble, and Jake needs a more overstable frisbee for that throw. Well into the ragweed off there on the right. Gonna be playing for par from over 100 feet. Oh my gosh, look at that bounce off of the wind, Nate.
Whoa, and he's got a ripping headwind uphill putt. Eagle gonna go tactic here from 70 feet, and he's
wants
just putting it
nothing
under the
to do with
basket.
it.
This is some insane wind.
This hole is typically one of the softer holes on the course. And today it really made you question whether you had the right equipment in your hand. And you had to be so specific. Isaac really puts up a good bid there. as well. So close to riding that wind to perfection.
Whoa, that's going to be his 4th double bogey on this back 9.
Outside, yeah.
I mean, I'm curious now. Did anyone birdie this hole, Connor?
I'll tell you, Nate. I almost rung up the one-timer. Ripped it with my distance driver flat on the right side edge. I saw what happened to my card mates before, luckily, and we thought it was in. It was bullseye long, and looks
Whoa.
like Chandler Fry and Drew Sodergren got it as well, so
All right.
Daps up,
congrats.
fellas.
Well done, Connor, Chandler, and Drew. Man, this hole playing tough in that crosswind.
it made me feel strong, I'm not going to lie.
Short walk over to 18. Pretty much dead into the headwind here. Playing back toward the brewery up on the hill. Nice manicured fairway here. Really trying to bite off as much as you can off of the tee. Hopefully up into that 450 range into this headwind if you have the speed. And then we're flying over the hazard that starts right about now. Actually, I believe it's out of bounds late in this fairway, and you head to a drop zone if you miss. So it's hazard to start, and then once you cross that OB line, then you go to the drop zone if you miss.
Once you've flown over the island at all, you proceed to the drop zone, but if you come up out of bounds anywhere without flying over the island,
You play it as
after
hazard.
passing the hazard, then you go back in the hazard and play your lie from the fairway there.
Interesting.
At least that's what they made me do today. So this one really scary. You have to hang it out over the hazard. You must choose an overstable disc. You must hit it hard, and you need a touch of hyzer, but not that much. Because these discs are carrying hundreds of feet, over 100 feet left. That disc flew there.
I think Eagle's going to try and send this a little flatter.
Eagle almost murdered a spectator yesterday, so let's see if they gave him some room.
Wow, just coming so fast across the body, and even that splice is just getting picked up. And
Yeah, he
Flies
pushes to the
left.
downslope, but looks like he got the soft skip, able to go with the slower disc. And this hole played 1.3 over par today. So I bet a lot of these players in this wind are just going to look to jockey for a par on this one. Takes a bit of a madman to go for the birdie today. Unless you really throw a great drive.
yeah, Eagle wants nothing to do with it. Gonna throw this splice
Yeah.
against the wind here. Good layup.
Probably going to be looking to throw some kind of tactic forehand on a similar angle for his next shot.
Yep,
Gavin.
no choice but to layup as well.
Yeah, even after taking the hazard, makes a smart decision not to compound it here, trying to kind of force the prideful shot. And Jake, I'm sure even with his round, really wanted to go for that, but played it mature there.
Well, it's never fun to play in when it's this windy. Well, I'll take that back, Connor. It's fun when it's for fun. It's not quite as fun when you're playing for a title or for money. It's just a different game, isn't it?
It can feel funny if you're not super attached to the way that your disc is affecting your score.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
as the player, it's tough. But as the spectator, it is so entertaining
It really
to
is.
sit back and watch some of the things that happens to these players' discs.
I just feel like it forces you to focus for longer periods and just a little more throughout the round. You got to always
Mhm.
kind of check what the wind's doing before you
Yeah.
get to your lie if you really want to know how to play well in the wind. So yeah, it just becomes even more of a marathon, I feel like, when you're playing in these conditions.
And I think a lot of these shots that have just become so routine from our perspective, just watching these players repeat these same shots when there's this much wind, and it's making these high-level players like struggle and really think, it really pulls us in.
And like on a day like today where the wind's going 30 miles per hour and you want to throw a low-speed shot, you're throwing it just less than 30 miles per hour. Like, I mean, so much can go wrong. And you see one of the best players on the planet not even hit the koozie from inside the circle. I mean, if nothing tells you what the wind's doing, I think that will.
Gavin for the single bogey here.
Commits. Looks like he stayed in long, but hard to tell there. Good putt there for Jake. Outside the bullseye, but probably felt like a 30-footer. Gavin takes his meter. Checking on the chains back there.
Tough finish to the round. That's going to actually bump him off the lead card.
Yeah, still tied for lead card position, but slower round out of those 6-down scores.
Tough finish for Isaac as well. We're going to see him on the lead card tomorrow. What a day here on Prince Edward Island, Canada's smallest province and the only island province. Eagle McMahon kept it clean for the most part. Those 2 late bogeys, but I feel like 3 bogeys on a day like
When's
this.
the last time we saw 5-down play as the hot round on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, Nate Perkins? It has been years, if not probably never.
It's been a while. It's since one of those windy days at Emporia Country Club, I feel.
Yeah.
But thanks so much for joining us here on Central Coast Disc Golf. What a wild day it was. And Connor, we'll see you tomorrow for the final round here in Canada. Love you guys.